Yeah, it's Shut 'em Down Radio. You know the number 347-850-1177. Send that music to shut'emdown0@gmail.com. We got an ill interview tonight with Rueben Wood, Celebrity Journalist, Chief Owner of Spaced Out Magazine. We got a caller, 404-673. You on the line.
Yo, what's up, man? This is the owner of Spaced Out Magazine, Rueben Wood.
Yo, what's good, Phil? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Blessed to be on the show, Appreciate that.
No problem. Now, I see with the magazine, I'm liking the spread on the magazine. Are you digital, or do you have, in the store, magazine issues?
We're digital as well as physical. We actually go out to a lot of your nail salons and barbershops. And we're actually making the transition into Barnes & Nobles physically because we're already on Barnes & Nobles and BooksAMillion.com. So.
Okay. Now, I've seen you've been, with the magazine since 2011. How did you get into doing the magazine?
Well, actually, I started out as a hip-hop R&B artist, and I made the transition from being an artist into being a media personality. In 2011, when the magazine first got started and everything, it didn't really take off. So in 2012, we actually released our first digital issue.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm liking the spread. Now, as far as the industry, do you deal with the industry, celebrities, like anything, what do you deal with in the magazine?
Yes. In the industry, I deal with a lot of celebrities on a regular basis. I actually know several different publicists and things of that nature, several different high-up people in the labels and stuff. And I'm constantly being sent their celebrity clients or these next-to-break artists, whether they are independent artists on the verge of breaking into major mainstream or, already major artists. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I see you deal with the radio stations, TV networking. You got a lot of things in the work. And also, you covered BET Hip Hop Awards 2014. Could you talk about that?
Yeah, that was actually a great experience. Shout out to BET. Being there for the first time and just seeing so many great, talented people, artists, such as Common, Vince Staples, Tip was there, Nelly, Boosie. It's first time he's seen him since he's been released. And, it was just a lot of great energy. It was a lot of tension on the green carpet, but it was still a lot of great energy as well.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's what's up. Now, starting the magazine from the ground up, how hard was that to do?
Man, it was very hard. What a lot of people, because I know you probably see a lot of magazines out there. A lot of magazines.
True.
And basically, I like to think of myself as one of those people who kind of sparked the interest of a lot of people to create magazines. Because before 2011, it wasn't, and especially 2012, it wasn't really that many independent magazines.
That's the truth.
So then everybody started having a magazine. Like if they had a radio show, they had a magazine. So, just building that from the ground up and taking that time and investing a lot of my hard-earned money into that, and so much, it was worth the while, because where we at now as opposed to back then. So yeah.
Right. Now that's good that you brought that up. Investing your own money, right? Because a lot of people don't understand when you're trying to start something, you should invest in yourself.
Right. I would say that to any independent artist, anybody who has a small business idea, make sure that you are ready to invest in yourself. And don't think anything is going to be free. Don't look at handouts. Don't look at any of that. Make sure you get a 9 to 5 or whatever, your hustle is in order for you to stack back your paper, because you're gonna need that.
Right. Mixtapes, and could you tell people how many mixtapes you put out to this date?
Oh man, I put out a lot of mixtapes, man. I actually had 7 mixtapes at one time that I put out myself. I was the first person to put out 7 mixtapes in a whole month until Gorilla Zoe beat me. But and then recently with the magazine, right, we had several volumes that came out. We did 6 volumes of Spaced Out magazine, and we just did one of my newly signed artists. We did his mixtape yesterday, as well as the Spaced Out magazine introduction. We dropped both of those on that piff yesterday.
Okay. Now, we're seeing that you have a distribution deal with Sony. What's that about?
Now, I have SOM Music / The Orchard and / Sony Music Entertainment. I actually have a distribution deal for digital as well as physical with them. We put out several different artists. I actually do more of the marketing and PR for a lot of artists. So the distribution ties in with that very well, so we can push their records. And we've been behind a lot of independent artists' careers and played very key instrumental roles in blowing them up and developing them. Okay.
So from your perspective and how the rap game is going right now, do you go out, you seek the talent, or does the talent come to you?
At this point right now, I mean, I put out a lot of advertisement in various different avenues, and a lot of people hit me up from it. A lot of people, they still hear the word of mouth. They're like, oh, well, they're doing this, they're doing that, so I think you should contact them. But the way the rap game is set up right now, I do screen a lot of people, because a lot of people are not serious, for one.
I agree.
And then the other perspective on that is a lot of people need artist development, but they feel that they don't,
I totally agree with you on that one. Now, I have a lot of artists, I deal with a lot of artists, and they talk about, artist development, but they say a lot of people don't want to break their records and, I guess groom them as an artist or let them be themselves in their artistry. Do you agree with that?
I don't agree with that, to be honest with you, because if you think about it, because I know you're in radio, and I actually have a radio show of my own. So when you're getting all of these records from these people, I'm pretty sure you can agree with me. A lot of these people have records that's not even mixed, or it's not even mastered, but they still take the time to send them to you.
Right, and that's unprofessional in my eyes.
Right, and it's unprofessional in my eyes as well. Or they have the stuff where it's not even labeled properly, when you specifically said, well, you need to have this where it's a name, an MP3, your artwork, everything included.
Right.
So
because I'm listening. Because it's funny that you said that, because I go through this time and time again. I think if you're serious in your craft, you should have your professionalism should be up to standards, and I think a lot of artists aren't up to standards when it comes to that.
Right, and then it's like a lot of them don't even they don't know the proper terms about the industry, and as far as for business, they don't know exactly what they need to do, what they need to already have in place. Because I see a lot of the independent artists, they don't even know what a sound exchange account is.
Right.
So,
that's true.
And when you tell them this, or you give them this information, sometimes it goes over their head, because if you don't tell them that this is how they get paid their royalties, they won't go sign up for it. They'll think that it's something that they have to pay for.
Right. Now, being with BIM, ASCAP, I guess that's a starting point for a lot of artists, and I come to realize that a lot of them don't even know about that, or They're not even trying to get into BMI, ASCAP. Do you think it's beneficial for artists to get into that? You know, BMI, ASCAP?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if you don't have a BMI account or ASCAP account,
Right.
or for that matter, a Sound Exchange account, I don't know how you're making any money off of your publishing, because that's really like the number one reason that a lot of artists aren't receiving, payments and checks and so forth. They're losing a lot of money because they don't have these key accounts.
I agree with you fully. Now, I see you're dealing with Reverb Nation, Music Clout. How did you get into that? Like, how did that happen as far as dealing with those companies and those brands?
Well, we actually formed a partnership, business relationship with these companies for their artists on their platforms. With Space Out Magazine, another reason why I actually started it was to help a lot of independent artists to have a leeway to promote themselves if they took advantage of the opportunity.
Right.
So we just wanted to offer something to all of these artists on Reverb Nation. And, I mean, it's been going fairly well. You would think out of 3 million and something artists that more than 5,000 would submit to the opportunity. But, sometimes with a lot of these people, they have the notion to feel and say that they've already made it, or they don't need to pay for anything, they don't need to submit to anything, or they don't need any help.
Right. I agree with you fully on that one. Because, like, I'm just putting this out there, like, say, for instance, an artist has a buzz, quote, unquote, on the Internet, and they feel like they're not inclined to get anybody to handle their music litigations. I think that's a big thing out here nowadays, like they're entitled to it,
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that, because I get several artists who send me emails after deadlines, or either if they're sending me something to be featured in the printed version in the indie artist section, they don't want to pay $50.
I agree with you fully on that one. That's definitely the truth. But why do you think that people, from your perspective, since you've been in the game in your season, why do you think people think that?
The number one thing is, just for me being an independent artist before and not, like having to learn things the hard way, so to speak.
Right.
When I originally started out, I had the same attitude that I didn't want to pay for anything, because I said, well, I'm talented, so let my talent speak for itself. But then when I started learning the business, it was more of a slap in the face, because when entertainment lawyers, PR people, marketing people, fees for physical copies to be printed up, or artwork designs, if you have to pay somebody for that, video shoots, photo shoots and stuff, none of this stuff is free. And it's
not.
So, if you keep getting stuff off of the strength of the homies, eventually the homies is going to tell you, hey, man, I need some money for this.
Real talk. Yeah, that's the truth. Now, I know you got another issue coming out into winter. Could you tell us who's going to be in it?
Right now we have several celebrities that's going to be in it. I don't really want to drop no names. And the reason I don't want to drop no names is because this issue is going to be very big, and we also are pushing to have our first compilation album in stores.
Nice.
Physically, along with the magazine.
Okay. So, did you span into, like, video production, music production, or you in the studio too, as well?
Well, the only thing I really do in the studio now is just more so beats. That's it. I don't really, make music like that on the regular anymore, because I really don't have the time to, because I'm working with several different clients, whether it's artists or public figure campaigns or small businesses or corporations.
Okay. So when an artist presents his music to you, how do you assess it?
Well, the main thing that I look for is it radio ready?
Okay.
Is it really that, like, what is the content of it and what is the message? How is it different from what's already being put out? You know.
Right. Now, dealing with your magazine, I want to ask you this question. Now, you know, a lot of people have websites and they snatch a lot of stuff like third party, content. How do you feel about that?
Well, when I started Space Out Magazine, I was actually one of those websites that did get a lot of third-party content because being in media, sometimes that happens a lot.
Right.
But then as time progressed, because I don't know if you've heard, but a lot of people in radio, and even just in general, a lot of these major mainstream artists, they call the third-party websites who aren't really that credible, they call them the blogs. This is the term that they have described them as. So I didn't want Space Out Magazine to be, just premeditated as, it's a part of the blog.
Right.
So we do exclusive stuff now, straight exclusive, original stories. We're getting, 100% real feedback. If someone sends us a story, that's the only way we're going to post it. We're not just going to take feed from XXL and post that, unless they send it to us or we've collaborated with them.
Right. Now, I want to ask you this question because a lot of people want to know. There's a lot of people listening, they want to know. Can you get sued for using third party?
The only way you can actually get sued is if there's a clause on that website that you took it from, because you do have the freedom of the press. But because if you look at some websites, maybe like a news site,
right,
or a sports center website, it may say all this material is copyrighted or copywritten. So if it says that, you can't really use that content.
Okay, I understand. Now, with the magazine, I like the layout of the magazine. And do you want to make your website interactive with the people? Because nowadays, you got to be more visual with it. It was a time where, word of mouth, they read the magazine, but now it's more, digital and on the websites. Do you try to draw the people to your website by doing that, making it more interactive with the people?
Yes, and then no. The reason I say yes is because as time progresses, the more we change. We have so much stuff that's about to launch because we have our television network. We're about to relaunch our radio station. And then we have a newer version of the website as well as our app that's coming out where you can watch the television, listen to the radio, read the magazines, and subscribe to it, and just a whole lot more.
Okay. Yeah. Now, could you tell the people your email where they could contact you as far as, trying to get in a publication?
Yeah, they can contact me at info@spacedoutmagazine.com.
Okay. And I'm definitely feeling the magazine. Now, before you started the magazine, do you do any editorial work in your magazine, or do you have people that write, like journalists and stuff of that nature?
Sometimes we get editorial work, and sometimes we have journalists, but for the most part, with this new issue, I've been more hands-on with it to make sure that the content is different from what else you're reading.
Okay. So, this question right here. Now, is there some content you wouldn't touch? Like, especially a lot of drama, a lot of negativity. Do you, think about the flack it will bring? Or, like you said, it's freedom of the press. The world is the world. How do you feel about that?
No, I definitely don't touch all areas of content because a prime example is, you see the situation that arose with T.I. and his wife.
Right.
Well, a lot of the blogs and a lot of the other supposed primetime media websites were commenting so much on his marriage, and they were saying that they were divorced, they were this, they were that. Well, in actuality, none of that was ever true.
Yeah, you're right. It's irrelevant.
So it's like for stories like those, and then other stories, to me personally, it doesn't really make any sense to really comment on stuff like that unless you're hearing this from that person's mouth.
All right. Now, entrepreneurship is a major thing, and I respect you for that, doing the entrepreneurship. Would you advise people, like, what's the bumps in the road that you encounter, coming up?
Well, for me, I actually, because of the decisions that I made as an artist and everything, I wound up being homeless. So,
okay.
Now, going through that, I had to really overcome a bad situation and turn it into something positive. So I did, and I'm not saying, appreciate that. I'm not saying that somebody else will go through that, but the number one thing I can tell you is always have a backup plan, because you never know what's going to happen.
Definitely. We have a caller, 281-883, you on the line.
How y'all doing? What's good? Shut them down. What's up, Dirty Silo?
What's up? How you doing, B Nice?
Nice in here. I'm good. So I got a question for my man. Now, my question is this. It was a different era back in the day when magazines held like a certain value to people. Like, remember when the Word Ups and first came out, like people meant that. Well, nowadays with things being so digital, what's your passion that made you want to do a magazine? You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, my passion is I didn't want to make a magazine the same way like you see what's going on with Hip Hop Weekly.
Right.
I didn't make a magazine like that. Right. I wanted to make something that you could actually sit and read, because there's a lot of people who subscribe to Black Enterprise, and they subscribe to that for a reason. So I want you to subscribe to Space Time Magazine for a reason,
Oh, well, and I say that because, a long-time print magazine, Ebony, actually just stopped printing this year. And Ebony magazine is completely online now. And we all know Ebony magazine from being in every doctor office, corner store you go in,
Right.
And people are shifting more to digital. So, I figured that it had to be something. But like you say, it's the reason behind it. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't take time to read no more. And they don't share like they used to. So as I've been listening to the interview, I wanted to ask you that, because people always say print is a dying field. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's why I wanted, and to try with you on that, because at the end of the day, you still really pushing a message. You know what I'm saying? You're pushing put this in your hand, read this. Not just, you can read whatever on your phone. They'll scroll up whatever. And I also like the fact that you say you don't entertain too much negativity, but at the same time, do you feel that that's going to affect your subscription rate? Like, I understand you want the ones who want it. I get that. That's how we just shut them down. We ain't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool. So are you prepared to deal with whatever may come along with that as far as your numbers?
Yes, because the thing about it is like, I did an interview with Razzcast, which I know a lot of y'all who are hip hop heads, y'all know who Razzcast is.
Right.
So he did an interview with me, and he was talking about a situation between him and the Game, how the Game came up and snuck him.
Right. Okay. I heard about that.
Okay, so now when that interview came out in the magazine, it blew up. A lot of people were talking about it. A lot of people were reading that. Now, that to me isn't controversy, because this is something that this man felt the need to speak on.
Okay.
So whatever he felt like was going to come after that, that was between him and the Game.
Correct.
Yeah. And I think that's like my last kind of question, my follow-up, as a magazine publisher, you kind of are the media, you know what I'm saying? And you put those shoes on, and one responsibility and aspect of the media is that we report what's going on in the world, especially in the aspect of, so while we could try to shy away from, certain negativities, it's certain things that you feel that are going to have to get attention sometime. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you're doing an interview with someone, do you feel that you would, I don't like the word censor, you know what I'm saying? Do you feel that you would kind of, you know what I'm saying, curtail them a certain way to not let it go a certain way? Or are you willing to say, hey, you know what, I'm going to let it be as true as it is to what it is? You know what I'm saying? If you have a guy, just so happen got beef or whatever, and they come to you and want to do an interview, are you willing to let them express that through your outlet?
Yes,
That's a good question.
I am willing to let them express that through my outlet because their fans don't want fake. Their fans want real.
Real talk.
Okay. And see, that's what I like, because at the end of the day, a lot of people say they is, but they not. They sit there and do a 2-hour interview with you and then snip out 30 minutes and put it together in a pasted magazine, and then you got a bunch of half. Yeah, and you got to go get the rest of the story, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it's a lot of responsibility having a voice with a magazine or a radio station, a lot of responsibility with that. So, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. Y'all finna fall back in the cup, Silo. Good interview.
Good luck, man. Now, I want to ask you this question. It's funny that you brought up other magazines, and I know it's a lot of competition. Is it a lot of envy dealing with, magazines per se, like competitors?
Yeah,
I gotta ask the real. I'm gonna ask the real questions.
It is a lot of envy and I feel like the envy is not even because I have a business entertainment magazine. I feel like it's a lot of envy because of how young I am. See, I'm only 23. A lot of the people who are magazine publishers are older than me.
That's real right there. So all right. So do they try to, how they do, like older people, right? They say wisdom, is acquired by your age, but sometimes that is not true, in certain aspects. So do, like, say, an elder that's in the magazine industry, they come to you, they try to, school you on a game, and sometimes, they'll tell you something, and it may not relate to you. You get what I'm saying? How do you feel about that? How do you feel?
Well, personally, something one of my aunts always told me, you can listen to what everybody says, but you can listen to it. That doesn't mean that you have to take it to heart or take it personally, but you can listen to it. So a lot of times when people do give me advice about the magazine, I just listen to it. Because if you look at XXL, they're no longer printing anymore because they got bought out by a different media company. So they're now straight digital. While everybody is now going digital, I've already been digital, and I'm going into print.
That's real.
So I guess, at the end of the day, if you look at magazines like Time and People, let me see, a lot of these hair magazines and stuff, why are they still being printed? Why is it that the music magazines and the entertainment magazines that are black-owned, the ones that are going out of print?
That's real. Yeah, why is that? I'll tell you my perspective on it. I feel like you should change with the times. It's the demand of the people. Everything is digital now, and I feel like it depends what audience and your target audience is,
Right.
If you're dealing with, say, for instance, how they put it, like maybe, 19 to 25 or 35 to 45, do you, like, with your magazine, what's your target audience? Is it for everybody? Like y'all hit a certain range, a certain age group? Or is like, a mixture of, it's like people-friendly, the magazine?
Space-Time magazine is definitely people-friendly from ages 14 to 65 because of the wide range of topics that we do cover.
Right. Okay. Now, getting back to the music and the distribution, right? Because I know they have different deals of distribution, especially dealing with indie artists. Like some distribution deals are, you get the distribution, you don't get paid up front. Are people objective to that? Because I know there's a lot of distribution deals.
Yeah, a lot of people are. A lot of artists that come to me, as far as getting their music distributed, they are objective to that because they're like, well, with a distribution deal, shouldn't I be getting paid because you have the connections and ties to this major label, so shouldn't you be cutting me a check? Well, in reality, no, I shouldn't, because if I'm
Round of
coming,
applause, man, for that real talk. Yeah, let's get it.
yeah, but you know, a lot of times, a lot of indie artists do feel entitled to that because they don't understand what distribution means. When they're paying this $10 and for a single to be released, or $50 for an album to be released through TuneCore or CD Baby, you know, you're
Right.
paying, see, and you're not getting any marketing or any PR with that. You're just paying them to distribute your music.
Right. It's no campaign at all. So with your publication, Spaced Out Magazine, you promote the artists, you put them in placement, like product placement, actually. You know, their music is a product. So you present it to the people. So is that worldwide or is it regional? You know?
No, as far as the distribution goes, it's set up to be worldwide. It's
Okay.
not just in the United States or anything like that. It's literally major label distribution. Matter of fact, we just got ready to release one of my new artists, Jay Metro. He's an R&B neo soul artist, and he has a single coming out November 28th. So you can pre-order his single right now.
Okay. Definitely got to send me that music.
Yeah, I'll definitely get that out to you probably next week.
Okay. So now, as far as the magazine, can you just come to the magazine and ask to be in a publication, or you seek out the artist, or does it work both ways? With indie artists.
Again, it's more so about the advertisement, because when I do advertising campaigns for the magazine and so forth, it's really up to the artist to respond back to it.
Okay.
It's not really up to me, because some artists, they have managers, some of them have PR personnel, and some of them just have themselves. So
right.
Whoever they choose to contact me back, or, you know, whatever they do is up to them. But if they want to be in that printed issue, then they will have to pay for it, though, because I feel like a lot of artists don't understand, the bigger the magazine, the bigger the cost and demand for printing is, you know, for circulation purposes.
I agree with you fully. Now, I feel like there's a lot of indie artists, like we were talking about in this interview, you know, they have the music, but they don't have the money. Now, if you see something in an artist, right, you hear their music, they send it to you, but they just so happen not to have the money. Are you willing to work with them or come to some kind of agreement or anything like that? Is there any negotiating?
Well, I did used to actually try to do that, but then the problem was when I did that, I would have these artists who are up under me, and I'm doing work for them for free.
Right.
But then I didn't see any return because they weren't even out there promoting their own music. So when those sales charts come back, they don't lie. Those sales charts don't lie. So if you're not making no sales off of your music, how am I supposed to get paid if you still out here buying Newports and Black and Miles and listeners?
Oh, this is real right here. Sound Down Radio Live. That's real right there. I agree with you fully. You know, I feel like as an independent artist, you should buy into your brand. That's the problem with the whole industry that's going on. Everybody wants something for free. Now, you being in the publication, right, and especially Spaced Out Magazine and the various things you do you have people that always constantly ask you for free stuff? Like all the time? Like
Yes, all the time. I always have artists that send me random emails, and they even, like, curse me out in emails, and they're like, I shouldn't have to pay for this, you know, and it's this, like, I get some of the most randomest emails from female artists, rock artists, R&B, hip-hop, whatever. They send me these crazy emails telling me how they should be featured for free.
Nah. Real talk. Now, what's crazy is how the rap game is going now. We all know sales is dwindling. Certain artists are not getting, you know, the money they used to get. Now, say, for instance, an artist that has some stature in the game, they want to get in there because of their name. How do you feel about them situations?
In my personal opinion, with artists who do have names, to me, it's really how hard is that artist going to really support the magazine. Because you could be, Lil Wayne, but if Lil Wayne don't tell Lil Wayne fans to go out and buy that magazine, Spaced Out Magazine don't make no money. Lil Wayne still gonna make money, though.
Real talk. I love this interview right here because it's real. A lot of people online. Be nice, man. What's going on, bro?
Yo, man, I'm back. I just want to tell y'all, man, my phone dropped call, man. I'm in the H. I'm out here trick-or-treating with these kids and shit. But look here. I got to respond to a couple of things. One, I was going to ask that same thing about the free situation. You feel what I'm saying? Because so many done lost respect, and they come at you like you wrong because you ain't take their email up, download all their shit, and put it in your magazine. You feel what I'm saying? But the key word is how much are they going to share the promotion. It's like, it's hard when you believe in an artist and you kind of put your foot out there for them, put your neck out there, and they don't return it. So I feel him on that. You know what I'm saying? Now,
definitely.
This whole name recognition thing. Yeah, it'd be a good idea at first, like, yeah, I got such and such. But at the end of the day, if all they do is come on and do that and don't do nothing else, you gain nothing from it. You know what I'm saying? And by him having a publication, I'm loving this interview too. You know what I'm saying? I'm just listening because, you ain't holding no balls, man. We appreciate that shit.
Real talk.
A lot of these dudes, they come on, they do interviews, and they walk the neutral line because they don't want to offend neither side. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, they don't know who's listening, and they don't want to come out, to whatever. And dude, like, look here, man. Look, I get crazy emails, fuck that shit. I like that, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, what your project is what you believe in, so I fuck with that. But look here, this is what I'm going to say, though. So you telling me if Lil Wayne called, they want to do an interview, you not doing the shit? Because he won't say, is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, I thought it better not be. You better do that shit, and we going to pump it on the show. It's going to be all on Shutterstown. And then 5 days after he ain't on that shit no more.
But, yo, you know what?
But nah, you right, man.
Rueben,
you love it, man.
What's real that you said that, though. Regardless of whoever stature is, if they're not representing and respecting your brand, why do it? And that's integrity right there.
That is, man. Like, at the end of the day, this man is on here. This is his brand. And print lasts forever. You know what I'm saying? And every time he put out an article, every month, I shows the archive, but every time he put out that edition, his name on it. Anything in there with that, I respect Prince so much, man. As an artist, as a writer, I love it. That's why I love, you know what I'm saying, what he about. That's why I love the integrity, man. I'm just saluting. I just wanted to chime in right quick on that other shit. I'm back in the cut. Holla at me.
No doubt. Now, Rueben, we got another caller, 347-753. You on the line. Let's get it.
Dirty Solo, what's good, man? It's TOC. What's going on, man?
Yo, TOC, what's good, brother? We got a ill, in-depth interview with Rueben Wood from Spaced Out Magazine, and we're talking about, distribution, publication, digital prints. Do you have any questions?
Say that again. I was talking my phone was breaking up. I heard about digital prints, and then I lost you.
All right. Yeah, we're doing an interview with Spaced Out Magazine, and Rueben Wood is on the line. He's the CEO of Spaced Out Magazine, and he's just breaking down, the ins and out of the industry, magazines, and stuff of that nature. Do you have any questions?
No, actually, I don't.
Okay.
Nah, I didn't even know what was going on. I just called in to say what's up, man, just to, get on. You know what I'm saying? I haven't called in a while, so,
Okay, we're going to have to hit you with
We'll talk.
Man,
you're funny.
No,
hey, Salo.
What up?
Yo, I just make sure I wasn't off me. Yo, him with the machine gun. You ain't even paying attention. Come on, man. Stop it.
Yeah.
Hey,
anyway, Rueben.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, this interview, I like that it's in-depth. Now, for 2015, what is the magazine, what are you pushing, for the new year?
The main thing that we're pushing is the Spaced Out Magazine or SOM brand as a whole. Like I said, we have the television network.
Okay.
We have the new relaunch of the radio station. We have our app. We have a better website. And we have several other different partnerships that we're about to close in and lock down. So you'll be hearing more about us, everywhere you look.
Right. Okay, so what is it, a phone app?
Yeah, it'll be something that you can download. The SOM app will be available on, like every store for the the iPad, the tablet, all smartphones, all of that.
Okay. Now, with the artists that you're promoting right now, I know you're putting out what is it, an EP or a single?
Or a compilation.
We have a compilation that's coming out in January, and then we have a single from J Metro dropping November 28th. We also have our newest signee, James Gray. We're getting ready to set a date for his single. And we have several other people that's about to, be on board. And we just getting ready to begin to drop so much more music, so much more content, so many more mixtapes, and just, powerhouse everything.
That's what's up. Now, we was talking about the BET Awards for 2014. What were your likes and your dislikes? And also with the new music, the younger artists, how did you feel about them?
My likes were, overall, this year's BET Hip Hop Awards was better than last year, and I
agree.
I did hear that a lot. Not even just because they brought the the battle rap to it, but just the overall content was actually better. My dislikes was when I was watching it at home on TV when they did the split cam thing. It showed me on television, but I couldn't see myself good enough because it was so small.
Right.
But, as far as the new artists and everything, the way I look at it, because of what I know about the industry, a lot of things is really based upon age group and demographic. So what you see they're capitalizing on is just that. They're bringing in sales and stuff. We don't have a platinum album in hip-hop this year.
That's crazy.
And I feel like it's because you got so many young artists or so many people trying to be rappers now instead of fans.
That is the truth.
What makes me sick about a lot of these new artists, they don't even know where all this came from.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me sick. Like, I'm working with somebody right now. Well, I'm kind of working with them, but I told them they got to do their homework first and really know what this is about. And they're telling me, oh, well, I don't want to sound like them. I said, no, I'm not telling you to sound like anything or anybody. I said, I'm telling you to learn where all this came from so you have an idea of what you're really supposed to do, not this bullshit that's out there. I'll tell you, there are a couple of cats out there that are really, really talented, and they are true MCs. Like that dude Logic, I don't know if anybody ever heard of Logic, but he's ill.
Okay.
He's nasty.
I have to check him out.
Yeah, he is. He's very good, dope artist.
He's nasty. I was like this. I was like, finally somebody saying something instead of talking about some bullshit. And like a lot of these songs, it's like you got 4 words in the song, and that's a song? What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You say the same 4 words over and over again. That's a song? I can do that myself. Shit, I'll make millions over that if I can. Why not?
And what's funny
I'll make my own beats and I'll say 4 words all night.
Funny is, like dealing, especially with the magazine, a lot of these artists and, the interviews, they don't even know how to present themselves. Have you ever came across people, like, say, for instance, on the spot interviews that, they couldn't present themselves. They can't even talk.
Definitely. I've had some people who, recently been signed, and some.
We want some names, man. No.
I don't want to drop no names.
Yeah, I feel you. We will shut them down radio. Nah, but it's all good.
But I just be honest with you. I remember it was an interview that I had with Bone Thugs and Harmony. One of their groups. Duck Fake Gang. Shout out to Duck Fake Gang, but I got to put them on blast. We had an interview, and they were not media trained at all.
Okay.
And they've been doing this for a minute, you know. So, and it's not just them. It's a lot of younger artists. A lot of people will try to get interviews on the radio. They don't know anything about how they should sound, how they should conduct themselves,
exactly,
or whatnot, and it makes them really look foolish.
That's the truth. That is the truth. I've seen it many a times, you know. Definitely the truth. Now, in your magazine, you know, like say for instance, right, somebody's popular, but they're not up to your stature in your magazine. You know, like you just don't like their music or anything like that. Do you let the people speak for them to get in the publication, or what do you do with that situation?
I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not a biased person, but if I really don't like your music or I really just don't rock with you, because I do know a lot of A-list celebrities and, you know, artists and stuff. If I don't rock with you, I'm not going to feature you in my magazine.
Right.
I mean, because I'm not one of those type of dudes, you know, just because this is what I do for a living, that it changes me. I'm still me, you know.
Right.
So
I definitely respect that.
How did this magazine come about?
Well, I started the magazine in 2011 as a way to actually help independent artists and everything, and then it culminated into its own manifestation of a bigger brand after the trials and tribulations to get where I'm at today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right, and definitely it's a dope magazine. Check it out. And another thing, too, I want to ask you about the magazine and publications, like the logistics of it, like the legal team and stuff like that. How do you have to go about it, you know? I mean, you don't have to tell the whole blueprint, but, you know, like, you know, for the aspiring people that's trying to do a magazine and publication, could you give them, like, maybe a couple of pointers?
The first point I would say is make sure you have a business plan. Because when I started my magazine, I didn't have a business plan. Make sure you go ahead and get all your stuff trademarked, LLC. That's why you may need to have a 9 to 5 before you start that. Another thing is make sure you know who your competitors are.
Okay.
Make sure you can tell advertisers why you're better than your competitors.
Right. That's good. TLC, any more questions?
No, not right now, man.
Okay. But, yeah, man, Rueben, it was a pleasure with the interview. Do you have any closing words?
Yeah, definitely. I would just say to everybody who is tuning in, if you're an aspiring artist or whatever you are, business person, you know, make sure you continue to invest in your career, invest in yourself. Don't let nobody else crush your dreams. Don't let nobody else tell you otherwise or differently. And do your research on people so y'all stop being ripped off out there. So by the time you come to me, you know, y'all ain't telling me that I've been scammed so much. This is why I don't feel like paying you, because I get offended by that. Because I've been with people be posting on Instagram and Facebook. They flashing money, but they can't pay their bills and stuff.
Oh, man, it's real.
Yeah, either that or they get locked up with child support or something like that. They don't even pay their child support, but they got all that money on Facebook. Fuck out of here.
Right.
Yeah, it's real, you know, and like I said, if it's free, it ain't good. You know, I feel like if you can't invest some money into your own career, you're a sad person. So I agree with you fully on that one, bro.
Yeah, that's 110%. I agree with you on that, because let me tell you something. 2 years ago, I built my studio, man. Within 4 months, I was in L.A. working. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of good, even though my wife got on me because I took all the tax return money. I didn't even ask her. I just built my studio. She ever tell me how I robbed the money. I was like, just believe in me. I believe in me. You got to believe in me. I got this.
Exactly. And you know what's crazy? Like, dealing with any business or any venture, give yourself a pat on the back for trying. You know, now, this is a real in-depth interview, and hopefully a lot of people are understanding what we're talking about and, like, let the knowledge soak in, because a lot of people are scared to even try, even if you fail. But I respect you for trying, man. You know?
Right. Definitely. I appreciate that.
No. Now, where can they reach you? On Twitter?
On Twitter, you can hit me up at CEO of SOM or just at Spaced Out Mag. On Facebook, that's just facebook.com/Spaced Out Magazine or facebook.com/X Rueben Wood.
And definitely it was a good interview. And one more thing, could I have a drop for Shut 'em Down Radio?
Yeah, man, yeah. This is Rueben Wood, the CEO of Spaced Out Magazine. Want to give a shout out to Shut 'em Down Radio. Make sure you tune in.
Thanks, bro, and we appreciate it, man. Anytime you want to come through, hit us up, man. Great interview.
All right, man. Thank y'all for having me.
All right, no problem. Take care.